Thumpstar again. This part's information videos on rear brake pedals or rear brake levers and also brake snakes. So we're just going to give you some measurements and explain the different types. So first of all, we'll talk about the two types of brake pedals you can get. So you get overs and unders. This one's an over and this one's an under, as you can probably see there. And how it works is, if you look at the Thumpstar here, the over will go over the top of your foot peg mount. I personally like the unders better, because what happens if you run out of rear brake adjustments, your pedal can hit your foot peg mount, which means then your brake won't work. So I prefer the under, which will make the most out of your rear brakes and a bit easier to adjust. So yeah, that's the two differences between them. Most of them run the unders, but there is the odd one that does have an over brake pedal. So the most common brake pedal that you'll find on most of your bikes are these four ones here. All the dimensions are basically the same and they'll fit between each bike. The first three are steel and the last one's a CNC aluminium one, which is a bit more expensive. So I'll give you the measurements of these ones. So total length is about 325 millimeters. The pedal width is 55 millimeters. And then where it mounts onto your frame is 14 millimeters. And then the width of the frame mount is 28 millimeters. And then eye to eye from where it goes onto your rear brake master cylinder to onto your frame mount is 58 millimeters. So like I say, these four here are all the same measurements. Just a few wee differences between them, but they're all the same. They'll fit between each other. This one here, for example, steel and has a aluminium tip, so you can get different colours in that for it. Okay, next up we'll talk about our over brake pedal that we showed you at the start. Length 340 millimeters. Pedal width 45 millimeters. And then eye to eye, where it mounts to your frame and where your split pin for your master cylinder goes in, is 52 mils. So that's your over. And then this is the Thumpstar lever, which is a wee bit different. It's see, it's got a big pedal, which is a lot better to make, you know, so your foot can catch your brake lever when you're riding. So the width of the pedal is 55 mils. The total length is 335 millimeters. And then the eye to eye is 46 millimeters. And just the width of the frame mount is 25 mil. So the thing to note with this Thumpstar brake pedal is it has a hole here, and this is for a brake snake, which is what we mentioned at the start of the video. So what the point of a brake snake is, this is one right here. The point of a brake snake is when you're doing a corner and you've got the bike quite low to the ground, it stops the brake pedal from bending around. So when you're racing and your brake pedal catches the ground, you can bend around, and then basically, you know, you won't have any rear brakes. So this brake snake, if you have a look here, this is the one that comes down on the Thumpstar, will just go inside your brake, just bolt onto the side of your brake pedal there, and then yeah, so it will stop your brake pedal from bending around. So it's quite a good tool for racing. And they're real easy to install. All you need to do is, if you don't have one already, is just drill a hole and then mount your brake snake. Either this one here bolts onto the bottom of your engine, or you can use this style here, which just has a wee hook on the end there, which just wraps around your bash plate or you know, you find somewhere there, bolt onto the engine there. So they're real easy to install, and yeah, if you're racing, definitely a much needed accessory. And that's pretty much it on brakes and brake snakes.